If you're a PC gamer and you're not playing mods, then simply put, you're doing it wrong. The added value that mods bring to the PC gaming world is insane, and it's free. If you don't know where to start or what they do, don't worry. Today, I'm going to tell you what my top 10 favorite first-person shooter mods are for PC games and how to get them. And make sure you stick around for the full video because there are some crazy full-fledged gaming experiences that you can get at no additional cost. The first, and honestly probably one of my favorite, is STALKER ANOMALY. While players have long awaited STALKER 2's release, fans have been busy keeping the dream, or should I say nightmare, alive with mods like Gamma and Anomaly. Anomaly is a standalone overhaul mod for the original games, and Gamma builds on top of Anomaly to further expand the experience. Both offer an incredibly unique experience set in the nuclear exclusion zone of an alternate reality Chernobyl. They build on the incredible foundation of the original games with updated graphics, rebalanced gameplay, entirely new quest lines, a massive in-game faction and economy system, advanced crafting, and so much more. These mods have basically been the best way to play STALKER for several years. And with STALKER 2 already confirming mod support, it seems like STALKER's best days may very well be ahead of it. Now, to play STALKER Anomaly, you don't need any of the original STALKER games. You can download and play these mods as a totally free standalone experience. Now, there's a ton of really good, totally free-to-play mods out there, but there's actually a lot of really good free-to-play games out there, like this one from today's sponsor. This year, I discovered Caliber, a free-to-play tactical third-person shooter which I thought might be overly simplistic, but was actually blown away by the gameplay and depth. It's like a perfect mix of fast-paced action and strategic thinking, which is really hard to achieve, plus it benefits massively from any type of teamwork. And if you've ever had doubts about third-person shooters being able to live up to the same skill and depth of a first-person shooter, I suggest you play Caliber. It's able to achieve a great feeling of highly tactical choices with map design that's perfectly balanced around the game mechanics. The game also feels extremely fair. Free-to-play titles often fall into the trap of offering pay-to-win mechanics, but Caliber does a great job of making you earn your operators and unlock their skill tree. If you want a game that was designed with purpose and rewards players for tactical, intelligent gameplay, then Caliber is for you. Don't miss out on the best third-person experience out there. It's on Steam right now. Click the link in the video description and try Caliber today. Now, because Valve is apparently afraid of the number 3, it seems like we may never get a Portal 3, but some very talented fans created a prequel called Portal Stories Mel a few years back, and it's inarguably one of the best fan-made story mods for a Valve game. It serves as a prequel and basically sets up how the franchise's characters like Cave Johnson, GLaDOS, and Shell got to where they were at the start of Portal, and honestly, calling Portal Stories Mel a mod is a bit of a disservice. It's got its own voice acting, unique assets, all new levels and puzzles, a fully realized story, and much more. And while a lot of the mods that I'm talking about today add to their original games, Portal Stories Mel is its own game that's free to download. The one catch is that you'll need a copy of Portal 2, but there's a good chance most people with a Steam account already have it. If not, you can get a copy pretty cheap direct from Steam or even cheaper on third-party sites. Now, when it comes to game overhauls, few mods are more infamous than Brutal Doom. Some call it the Doom 3 we never got, some call it the worst thing to happen to Doom since Doom 3's shotgun. Many call it a masterpiece. In reality, Brutal Doom is a tool that lets you transform the 1993 classic FPS into whatever you want it to be. You can go full gore, RTX enhanced insanity, or just add minor tweaks like heads-up display changes. Personally, I think it's an awesome way to re-experience the original Doom. It's also a major inspiration for the boomer shooter genre that's exploded in the recent years. To get Brutal Doom running, you'll need to download the free GZ Doom package and have access to the Doom WAD file of the Doom game that you want to run. These files ship with the original Doom 1 and 2, but you can also just find them online for free. Now, Squad is a game that needs no introduction to people who have been following this channel for a while, but if that name isn't ringing a bell, it's one of the most popular and accessible milsim games available today. It was originally a mod for Battlefield 2 called Project Reality, and the developers of Squad have been extremely open about supporting mods of their own game. And probably the biggest mod for Squad is Galactic Contention. And really, what better mod for a hardcore milsim than a total Star Wars conversion? Somehow this combination actually works. There's actually several total conversion mods for Squad like Starship Troopers and Squad Z, but Galactic Contention is one of the most polished and popular. If you ever wondered what a milsim version of Star Wars might play like, well, go try out Galactic Contention. Obviously, you'll need to own Squad first, but it's a purchase you're unlikely to regret. Now, of course, there wouldn't be a Squad without an incredibly popular mod, Project Reality, the milsim conversion for Battlefield 2. It first launched all the way back in 2005 and is still amazingly going strong to this day with continued updates and a dedicated player base. The original developers of the mod eventually went on to create Squad, and much of Squad's core design was founded on Project Reality. It really is kind of a time capsule preserving the early days of the Battlefield franchise and Squad's start, and some players still prefer the original Project Reality experience over Squad. It's also a totally standalone experience, so you don't need to source a copy of Battlefield 2, which isn't even available to purchase digitally anymore. Now, not every mod has to be some sort of earth-shattering overhaul. Sometimes they just need a shift in perspective. The Half-Life 2 VR mod might look like a subtle change, but it actually required years of work to complete. The end result is one of the best VR gaming experiences around, while also being a nearly one-to-one faithful recreation of the original game just in VR. Almost nothing from Half-Life 2 was compromised to bring it into VR. If anything, playing in VR actually adds to the experience, and some might even say it's better than the original experience. And while the mod itself is incredible, it really is a testament to Valve's expertise that a game developed before VR plays so well in VR. The physics puzzles, platforming, and gunfights all just work in VR without any apparent changes. Even the vehicle sections are playable and have some comfort settings to tune the experience for your preferred level of stomach pain. If you own a VR headset at all, this mod is worth downloading. That said, prepare for a few unforeseen consequences, as not every rough edge has been ironed out. And of course, you'll need a copy of Half-Life 2 to play this one. Now, if you really want to talk about radical overhauls, Frontlines for Roblox is probably the most radical a mod can get. It's technically an officially supported Roblox experience, but really it's still a mod at its roots that transforms the underlying experience way beyond that classic Roblox look. And while it's mostly an old school Call of Duty clone, which isn't that impressive on its own, the fact that this is an official Roblox game is just insane. Very few, if any, existing Roblox experiences even come close to this level of fidelity. However, there are other experiences on the horizon, like Ares VR game, that might give Frontlines a run for its money. Frontlines is a free experience available directly on Roblox. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a list of great FPS mods if I didn't mention some Fallout stuff. Recently, I was messing around with a mod that turns Fallout 4 into a STALKER-like game. The pack includes over 400 mods, but it's actually really easy to install with the Wabbajack mod pack client. You just search for the Lost World mod and hit download. Obviously, there was some setup work to get everything totally running, but it was a far simpler experience than individually downloading and configuring all of the mods in the pack. Fallout modding has really come a long way in the recent years, to the point that I think anyone could manage to install the mod pack and experience basically an entirely different game. Of course, you will need the base game to run the mods, but Fallout 4 is pretty cheap these days if you don't own it already. Now, DICE games have become harder and harder to mod over the years due to stuff I don't really understand about how the Frostbite engine works, but finally, after many years, a team of modders has released Venice Unleashed for Battlefield 3. It initially launched as an extensive modding suite for the game. It offers some very simple tweaks like disabling suppression in the game's notorious blue filter, but under the hood it lets you do everything from total conversion mods to new game modes, adding sound effects, effects, and more. If you want the version of Battlefield 3 that everyone says would make it a better experience, chances are there's a server of those changes running. There's also a reality mod using Venice Unleashed that basically recreates Project Reality in the BF3 engine. On top of that, it might also be the only way to play Battlefield 3 in the not too distant future. Venice Unleashed runs on its own servers and client, which means if the official servers go offline, the modding servers should remain online. EA and DICE recently announced servers for Bad Company 2 are getting shut down, and it seems like just a matter of time before other Battlefield titles start to go dark as well. In fact, the developers of this mod are building another called Project Rome that aims to provide Bad Company 2 server support for years to come. So if you're a fan of Battlefield, make sure you check this one out. You'll need a copy of Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 2 to play their respective mods. Now, before I move on to the next mod on the list, I wanted to give a shout out to an honorable mention. The first-person mod for Ghost Recon Wildlands is a recent favorite find. It transforms this excellent game into basically an entirely new experience. And while some of the animations can be a tiny bit janky, it does get the job done, and I highly recommend checking it out. It's a free download, but you do need to own the base game. Now, when it comes to mods extending the lifespan of a game, few recent examples come to mind that have been as impactful as Insurgency Sandstorm's modding integration. From new maps and modes to massively expanded weapon arsenals and new mechanics, the mods for Sandstorm have basically taken on a life of their own. So much so that in fact two of the game's latest official maps were originally developed by the community, and a lot of the maps look absolutely incredible. Redwood Reborn and Toro both honestly look better than the base game's maps, and it's like one click to install them. All of Sandstorm's mods are free to download via their official mod database. Just visit the site, subscribe to the mods that you like, and the game automatically downloads them for you. Support for Sandstorm probably would have ended a while ago if it weren't for the mods, and it's great to see that the developers are embracing and supporting the community so well. Now, there's plenty of mods from the past that have been incredible experiences like Battlefield 1942's Desert Combat. But when it comes to FPS mods that are still worthwhile playing today, these are some of the best in my opinion. Leave a like if this video informed you about some mods that you might go and check out. And also, I'd like to know what your favorite FPS mods are that you still play today. Let me know in the comments, and next up, check out this video showcasing an overhaul mod for Fallout 4 that turns it into an incredibly dark experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.